Good morning and welcome to the Friday morning edition of Sports This Morning on your award-winning channels television right here in Lagos. It gives me so much pleasure to be here this morning to take you on a trip across the world of sport. There's a lot to talk about today, and of course, today is very important to all of us. By now, the hangover is over. We can see clearly now that the rain is gone. So let's talk about all the things happening in the world of sports. Your views is very important to us on Sports This Morning, and that's why we want you to get across to us and this morning. And this is how you can get across via feedback. You can do that on Facebook. You can do that on Twitter. And of course, my name is Enyimba. So very sure it's going to come up on your screen. That's it on your screen. On Facebook, it's channels-sports. On Twitter, it is channels_sports. And of course, you can tweet at my personal handle. Let's talk about the Super Eagles. Most importantly, let's talk about the Federation Cup. Let's talk about FIFA. What's been happening in FIFA? FIFA is not without their own drama as well. So let's talk about FIFA this morning. Let's also talk about the big one in the English Premier League. That's talking about what's going down this weekend. Arsenal and Manchester United. Of course, we still talk for Formula One, the last race in Abu Dhabi. We'll talk about that on the show this morning. Well, before I go any further, let me quickly give you the headlines, the news making the rounds from this part of the world. In the Federation Cup, Enyimba and Dolphins rekindle their rivalry. We'll be talking about that later on the show. The 2014 edition of the Federation Cup, Enyimba and Dolphins will be playing in the final in Lagos. Of course, Abu Gumel is back in the saddle. He returns as the Nigeria Olympic Committee president after facing a stiff competition from Sani Ndanusa. We'll talk about that this morning. Of course, World Football Governing Body also in the news, a new whistleblower in town, a lot of revelations made. We'll be talking about that on the show this morning. And of course, these two guys, Lewis Hamilton and Germany's Nico Rosberg, one last lap. And everything is going to go down in Abu Dhabi. Of course, surely one of these two will win. But will it be Lewis Hamilton with a 17-point lead, or Nico Rosberg coming back into the picture, courtesy of the double points rule, if he's able to win on the final day and Hamilton doesn't finish in the top two? He gets to win the race despite Hamilton leading with 17 points. That's the outlook of the show this morning. Once again, you can get your views across to us. We want you to be part of everything we're doing on Sports This Morning. We're going to go on a break. When we return, Cecilia Morgan joins me for the rest of the show this morning. Stay with us.
Their hands on deck to ensure that whatever it is that we do right here in Nigeria at the end of the day is firm to be successful.
Our world changes. Sometimes it could be tough to keep up with these changes. Some other times, communicating these are even harder. Our job here on Sunrise is to break it all down for you, not just to understand, but take the right action. Sunrise, every Saturday at 9 a.m. only on Channels Television.
Experience the action. Witness the passion.
Oh my word! Here in New Wales. They've broken the deadlock.
Feel the pain.
They're playing.
David Hay.
The but that's not the way.
And share in the gains that come from your exciting world of sports on Channels Television.
For the next 2 years, the Super Eagles.
Sports this morning, 9:30 till 10, and Sports tonight, 9 till 10 p.m. Channel Sports, defining the moments of true sports.
You see, life has just got easier. You stay connected to Channels TV, where news and innovations are shaping our world. Simply log on to channelstv.com to get the breaking news. Browse the homepage according to what matters to you. Tap on the extended coverage of business, sports, politics, lifestyle, infotech, entertainment, health, world news, and lots more. Click on the live link and see the news in real time. Do you want to watch the latest video of the day? It's just a click away. Friend us on Facebook, YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Google+, participate in Channels TV poll, and share your comments. It's a website you can talk to. Your voice will be heard. ChannelsTV.com. The news at your fingertips.
Welcome back. Of course, Cecilia Omorugwe has just joined me. I'll be looking at all of the issues we've lined up for your viewing pleasure on the show this morning. But quickly, let me welcome Cecilia to the show. Cecilia, how does it feel?
Thank you for having me. Tomorrow's Traditions Cup, so all of us on Sunday, all of us are looking forward to that.
And we've already forgotten that the Super Eagles didn't qualify. The hangover is...
Of course, it's over. Yeah, it's just 1 or 2 days, and of course we are all over it. And it was some people said
we're moving
expected. So we're actually
and we
moving
can analyze the issues
and we're
with
looking
a clear
forward to
mind.
something next year, which is going to be great. The Women's World Cup in Canada.
Okay, we can understand where Cecilia is coming from. But the ladies always seem to do well, and the guys, well,
somehow
giving us heartache. But hopefully, in the nearest future, everything will be sorted out. Let's talk about the Nigeria Olympic Committee elections held yesterday, and of course, there's a new man, not really a new man, returns to his former position, but had to fight off a stiff competition from the president, Sani Danusa, 19 to 17 votes. Very close one.
That was really close, and of course we know that NOC usually no court cases, but I think this is really a good one. It shows that these people were able to handle their own thing and all that. I felt Sani Danusa would retain the position because there's the power of equivalence and all that, but I think they all decided and feel okay, Habu Gumel can return, and I hope he's going to use his own power to actually promote volleyball, because this is something that is really not too right
That's his
now.
constituency.
That's his constituency, and we really don't have it. You don't have Nigerian volleyball competing internationally and all that. Sani Danusa, of course, in tennis also, is really not too up there, but I think he has done 1 or 2 things that someone can always look back
Just
and
hope
say,
that these
okay,
guys will give us good representation.
Precisely, good representation. And if you look at the vice presidency and all that, you just heard about the first vice, second vice, and the third vice.
Oh, well,
all of them,
that's the list.
Okay,
President Abu Gumel, you were talking about the first,
Solomon Ogba, of course, retaining his position, and second vice president Fatai Williams, aquatic swimming, and Tijani Umar
from basketball.
So I think what we're having right now, we can actually see a situation whereby you now have these leaders actually trying to promote their own sport at the Olympics level, because it's only athletics. You look at Solomon Ogba, who is doing so well. Tijani Umar, of course, Nigeria were able to qualify for the men's basketball for the first time. I think their position, they can also use that to develop their various sports. And Tony Obani, of course, retaining his position
as qualifications officer. I think this should be good for us.
Yes.
If you have the top people in the different sports now in the NOC, it should translate into something.
Yes.
Maybe not for real. Maybe not, but subsequent.
It could help, because Fatai Williams has been complaining about the fact that you don't have swimming taking off, Olympic sports and all that in Nigeria. So with his position, I think he should be able to, see how he can precisely talk to National Sports Commission and see how they can bring back the sports and all that. That's it, because that's the essence of you being in a particular position. NOC, of course, you also have a representation at the IOC, and that when you have these two things, working together.
You have more influence.
That is it. So they can use their influence to actually promote their sports more, so that they focus on football. We are having heartache now, like you called it, because it's very good to qualify. When you have other sports actually doing well,
it gives you joy.
That is it.
I think that is what made South Africa survive.
Yes.
All this while, when the football wasn't going well, you had the Springboks, you had the Proteas, and you know they were a multi-sport nation.
Of course, they are a multi-sport.
And that's where we need to be.
Yes.
To save us from the heartache.
Not just football, athletics, and basketball, because that seems to be our sport.
All right. Okay. Well, Cecilia gave you an hint earlier on, talking about the Federation Cup. It's going to go down this weekend, and it's going to be between Enyimba and Dolphins. So what we're going to do now, let's show you how those two teams made it down to the final of the competition. The route Dolphins took, the matches they played from the round of 64 down to the semi-final. Very sure it's going to come up on your screen. We're going to start with Dolphins. How they were able to get to this point. After Dolphins, we'll look at Enyimba, how Enyimba also were able to get to this point. We'll take a look at all of that. I'm very sure it's going to come up on your screen very soon. And well, this is the last. What you saw earlier was the last match between Dolphins. I beg your pardon, Enyimba and Kano Pillars. But this is the route that Dolphins took. Round of 64, they defeated Ingas 3-1. Round of 32, Kogi United, they defeated Kogi United 1-0. Also, El Kanemi came calling, defeated El Kanemi 1-0. And of course, in the quarterfinal, it was Lobby. It was 4-2 on penalties, I think. And in the semi-final against Prime, it was 1-0. All right, let's take a look at Enyimba, how Enyimba got to this point. And since you take us through this one, the first...
that's how they actually, the ones they won, you know, they won it 3 times, and you have in 2005. No,
okay, this is actually Enyimba's Federation Cup record.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later, but we would like to see how Enyimba got to this is Enyimba's record in 2005 against Lobby. The one on penalties against Sharks 2009. They also won last year. We were at the stadium, for the final. Azubike Igweke making a name for himself, losing a penalty, and Warri Wolves lost that one on penalties to Enyimba. Okay, good. I took us through this.
That's the road to the final. Round of 16, of course, beating Sokoto United by 3-1. In round of 32, it was against Niger Tornadoes. That ended on penalties. I think they're really very good at this one, and they won it, of course. Round of 16 against Nembe City, 2-1, a slim scoreline. You will say quarterfinal against Sharks FC, and it ended in their own favor, 2-0. And semi-final against Giwa, just by a lone goal. It was a tight, and of course, game. They were, you know, in the final again. And for Enyimba, definitely they will be rooting to actually win it for the 4th time if they can retain what they won.
All right. We saw Enyimba's record earlier. Let's take a look at Dolphins. Dolphins also have done well in the cup competition. So let's take a look at Dolphins, what Dolphins have done in times past. Take us through the Cecilia.
Okay, in 2001, against El Kanemi Warriors, they won that one by 2-0. 2004 against Rangers by a lone goal. Against Bender Insurance in 2006, penalty, and of course against Rangers International also ended in penalties.